yesterday's class, some students found it difficult. So one thing is, like somewhere people were asking, tell me resources so we can read and come. So what I suggest, there is no need. Understand here only, because you will not find these things at one place. Okay? So even if I recommend, you may get more confused. For initially 2-3 days you may find, but then things will become smooth, so don't worry. And I will not mind if you interrupt then and there, and you can seek clarification. Okay? So don't hesitate, there is no problem, because it will save your own time. You will keep on searching, but you will not get the concepts in the books. Okay? So, and yesterday what I discussed was very basic thing. Okay? So for UPSC, like we started with what? Nothing. I told about constitution. Just a minute. Written constitution, flexible constitution, type of majority. Okay? And then what we discussed, democracy, little bit, constitution, constitutionalism, some rule of law as a concept, and in the rule of law I was discussing freedom, and suddenly this freedom and liberty. So I was discussing this natural process, etc. So first of all, don't get scared. Okay? These are big terms but very easy to understand. Okay? तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. Polity, you don't need to learn, you have to apply your logic. Logic से समझते हैं polity. Okay? So what I will do, in the end I will give you the list of the concepts. You go home and try to see, are you clear or not with the concepts. Okay? And you can share your difficulties with me. Yes, you wanted to ask some question. Does law
limits the freedom? And if law limits the freedom, so how can we accept law made for the welfare of the people?
Law limit freedom? Yes or no? Yes. When law is there, you have to act according to law. See, you can cross the red light, but this freedom is restricted by law. So law limits freedom. Okay? Now the question is, when law is limiting my freedom, why do we need law? The answer is, extreme of anything is bad. Okay? And you live in the society where others also have freedom. So your freedom needs to be restrained, so that freedom of others can also enjoy. Since other person is respecting your right, it is your duty to respect his right. So there is a saying, my freedom ends where someone's freedom begins. Okay? So you cannot have extreme, because you don't live alone on this earth. You live in the society. Okay? So it is said that in this earth, it is men and not man who lives. बहुत सारे लोग हैं, सबकी freedom, how will you manage? You got the answer? Okay. Yeah.
What kind of
Absolute majority. Absolute majority in the sense 50% of the total strength of the house. But this is like practical thing. Suppose some seats are vacant, then effective majority. But suppose no seat is vacant, it becomes absolute majority. But in the constitution, absolute majority is not mentioned anywhere. Okay? Now any other simple majority is what? 50% of the members present and voting. Suppose all members come. Suppose 545 members come, then 50% plus 1 of the present and voting. This becomes absolute also or not? You have to have absolute. How will you measure? What? If 500 members come to the house. But finally what if they come? It means you will intern them, you will not let them come. It happens. Sometimes the MPs, or not MPs but mostly MLAs, they are unable to reach. That is a different case, but anything else in yesterday's class, like from where you all started finding it difficult? Natural law, you found it difficult? Due process of law, natural law, procedure established by law. Any difficulty you ask, don't hesitate, you will not find it in books. Majority, 50% plus 1. Every country has a constitution. There cannot be a country without constitution. तुम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और डेमोक्रेसी को एक कैसे समझ रहे हो? कंट्री में हैव रिटन, इट में हैव अनरिटन. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मतलब क्या है? कि स्ट्रक्चर. योर बॉडी हैज अ स्ट्रक्चर. ऐसे ही स्टेट का स्ट्रक्चर इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. नाउ इट इज क्लियर. Liberal democracy and parliamentary form of government, is it same? No. What is the difference? Chalo, liberal, when I will discuss liberal, then you come. Yesterday I ended the discussion at due process of law and procedure established by law. This is fine, no difficulty, yeah. Which one is better? Better for what? Depends on the context. When in India also, it depends on the due procedure, so anyway you need. If government acts in a responsible manner, if legislature pass the law which is right, then you don't need due process. But when legislature goes for overreach, that needs to be balanced by judicial activism or overreach. So at the time when Indira Gandhi government was bent on doing excesses, it was right on the part of judiciary to go for this creative interpretation, to never give answer in yes or no. It is all in the context. There are dangers in due process of law. No doubt there is a danger in a due process of law, because it is based on reason of judge. Reason may vary from judge to judge, so this creates uncertainty. Okay. So basically in original constitution this principle was there? No. So when you study the Constituent Assembly debates, Constituent Assembly rejected the due process of law principle. Why reject it? Because it creates uncertainty in the law. Some judge may find it reasonable, some may not find it reasonable. Okay. So what happened was they have stick to procedure only. But then as the situations changed, need arose and interpretations changed.
Yesterday you studied that constitution is what judges say. When recent controversy on the elevation of KM to the Supreme Court, so when there the executive is the ultimate power, you can see, because they are not letting him.
What is the meaning, what are the provisions in the constitution in that sense?
But the provision is the ultimate power to elevate a judge to this level.
So it is not necessary na government follow the constitution.
Like I come from Dragon only, so there people are speculating that it is politically motivated. That what happened back in 2016, that's why.
It may be politically motivated. What do you know what is happening behind the curtain? There can be a nexus between the government and the judiciary also. So that is immaterial for us. What is important is wherever there is a written constitution, judiciary automatically becomes supreme, because judiciary is an interpreter of the constitution. Is this clear? Yes? 10 choose to vote. 10 nahi, there has to be a quorum. Oh sorry, 10 present and voting. 545, then yes. Yeah, 6 will be the majority. Okay. So now I was explaining the different ideologies, right, left and all. Okay. And I was telling about democracy. Okay. And the democracy which we know is liberal democracy. And I told you the features of a liberal state. Liberal state means limited state where power lies with the people. That is liberal state, that is liberalism. Okay. And democracy where government is by the people. Democracy where government is elected by the people is an example of liberal democracy. So which type of democracy India is, liberal or socialist? Liberal. Now it is clear, liberal. Now you have asked what democracy and is democracy and parliamentary form of government is same. Write this question. Is democracy and parliamentary form of government same? What is your view? Is it same? No. So you can write this, that in a any democratic country can adopt different democratic forms. Okay? So there can be different democratic forms. So to begin with, forms of government. To begin with, democracy, it can be direct democracy, it can be indirect. Direct and indirect. So, at the national level, which type of democracy we have? Indirect. What is the other name of indirect democracy? Representative. So, where people choose their representatives. At panchayats, which type of democracy we have? Direct. What is direct democracy? People directly participate in governance. So, in panchayats and municipalities, you directly participate, you go to the panchayat. Huh? Yes. So, direct democracy in India is Gram Sabha. Okay? Is there direct democracy in municipalities? No. Okay? म्यूनिसिपैलिटी में कोई मोहल्ला सभा है? हाँ? नहीं है. ठीक है? Ward committee is not having the powers like Gram Sabha. ठीक है? So, panchayat, the three institutions are elected by the people, representative. Now, forget this. Representative democracy can have various forms. The three prominent forms are parliamentary, presidential, and a hybrid form, semi-presidential. A hybrid form, semi-presidential. Now you got the answer. Okay? So, parliamentary form is a type of democracy. Now, democracy and republic, is it same? No. What is the difference? Democracy and republic. So, again answer will be different for political science and GS. Is that clear? So, democracy versus republic. So, if we see UK, UK is a democracy, but is it republic? It is monarchy. India, democracy. Is this clear? So, republic and democracy, now we differentiate on the basis of head of state. Is head of state hereditary or elected by the people? Okay? Hereditary or elected by the people. Is this clear? Fine. Which form of government is there in Nepal? Republican or monarchy or constitutional monarchy? Constitutional monarchy. In which year you are living? किस साल में तुम लोग जी रहे हो? 10-15 साल पहले इट हैज़ बिकम रिपब्लिक, ठीक है, तो रिपब्लिक है, देर इज नो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोनार्की. What about Bhutan? It is a constitutional monarchy. Okay. So now let us see the features of parliamentary form of government. Right? France. I will tell. So now first start with parliamentary form of government. So these type of conceptual questions will come. Parliamentary form of government, and why India had adopted parliamentary form of government, and suppose in mains they can ask, should we shift to presidential form of government? Okay. So what is parliamentary? What are the features of parliamentary form of government? What is the main feature of parliamentary form of government? Pardon? Decentralization is a feature of parliamentary form of government. Option A. Is it right option? No. Decentralization और parliamentary form का कोई संबंध नहीं, ठीक है. यस, अभी सुनो पहले. तो पार्लियामेंट्री एंड प्रेसिडेंशियल you distinguish on the basis of the relations between legislature and executive. ठीक है. Separation of powers is a principle of presidential form of government, and fusion of powers is a principle of parliamentary system. So point number 1, right, the difference in parliamentary and presidential is based on the relationship between executive and legislature. Okay. So right, next point. In presidential system, there is a separation of powers. Between legislature, sorry, which one I said? Yeah, between legislature and executive. Means no member of the legislature can be the member of executive. Okay. So in USA, the ministers or secretaries, are they member of any of the house of Congress? No, it is based on a strict separation. Is this clear? Next, right, in parliamentary system, it is based on fusion of power. Means executive is the part of legislature. लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर यही क्वेश्चन आया था. कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज़ अ फीचर विच इज़ द मेन फीचर. तो कंसेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस भी ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चंस में आते हैं. ठीक है. सो इन पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम who forms the executive? The party which has confidence or the majority of both the houses or just lower house? Lower house. Okay. So in parliamentary system the term of executive is fixed? No. Okay. So it can go any time it loses the majority. Is this clear? So what is the virtue of presidential system? It is stable. It is stability, fixed term. Okay. Whereas in a parliamentary system neither the term of parliament is fixed nor the term of executive is fixed. Okay. So executive can dissolve parliament, parliament can throw executive out of power. Okay. So stability, right? Second point, stability. Stability is the virtue of parliamentary system, sorry, presidential system. And what is the virtue of parliamentary system? Why we adopted parliamentary system? Comma. Right. Right. Parliamentary system is more representative oblique more democratic. ठीक है. Next, right, in presidential system there is a single executive. Full stop. No difference in head of the state and head of the government. ठीक है. Like US president, head of the state, head of government. When we use the term head of government, government means executive. ठीक है. No difference, right? Yes. Executive, the government, prime minister can recommend president to dissolve the house. Okay. But it is a prerogative of the president. There are few things where president has a discretionary powers. He may listen immediately, he may not. He can use his prerogative also. Okay. Second, next point. Right. In parliamentary system, there are two heads, or there is a plural executive, or prime minister is the real head. Means this is head only for the namesake. Okay, this is fine. So India has this parliamentary system, and it is right if I say president is a rubber stamp. Okay, so president is the head only for the namesake. Is this clear? So president's power is just, it is a position of dignity, no rights. Is this clear? So here you can write this, right? In parliamentary system, head of the state has only 3 rights. First, right to be informed. Prime Minister will keep him informed. Next, right to warn. Warning, don't do this. Warn, that's all. And right to encourage. You need these rights. How boring rights. Huh? Right to encourage, right to warn, and right to inform. Is this clear? Now, one more thing you write. Right, in parliamentary system, the nature of executive is called as plural executive, plural executive, comma, also because of the cabinet form of government. You know the features. This question came last to last year. What is the feature of the cabinet form of government? So write cabinet form of government. अब options सभी सही होंगे, लेकिन you have to think about what is the theory, what is the principle. Have you understood this? So cabinet form of government is based on the principle of write inverted commas, collective responsibility. Okay, so it means all ministers, they sink and swim together. Okay, no confidence motion even against the single minister, all will have to pay. Is this clear? So this is called as principle of collective responsibility. Okay, no collective responsibility, no plural executive in presidential form of government. Okay, so you must be knowing the debate on the presidential form of government, that should India go for presidential form of government. Write this question.
President is for nominal or regular. Why do we need that post?
Why do we need that post? First thing is, in case the Prime Minister is not, or the Council of Ministers loses the confidence of the House to maintain the continuity. One thing. The second thing is, Prime Minister is the head of the party. So you cannot consider him impartial. ठीक है? So whichever law will be made, you will feel that it is not unbiased. Okay? So symbolically, all laws are signed by President, because President in India, Queen in Britain can be considered as neutral. Okay? Why President in India can be considered as neutral and above party politics? Because of system of election. System of election is proportional representation. Okay? So President needs the support of other parties also. Only one party will not be able to make the President. And then President has a security of tenure. There are two logics behind it. You have understood this? Now, write this question. Parliamentary or presidential type. Parliamentary or presidential type. Comma. Which form of government is better for India and why? This is just in a sarcastic way. They say that you are a president, you have 3 rights. It is not mentioned. See, these are the theories I am giving on the basis of British Constitution. There is one thinker, Bagehot. ठीक है? तो Bagehot has written that in Britain, Queen has 3 rights. Right to be informed. Means Prime Minister will keep them informed. Queen can warn that you are doing wrong as an elder. Okay? So right to warn, and if government has done something, encourage. So basically, Queen is friend, philosopher and guide of the Prime Minister. Okay? In India, you have this in Article 78. Okay? That I will do when we will do President as an institution. So under 78, Prime Minister's responsibility to keep President informed and to give all information which he needs, and consult the allocation of business to different ministries with the President. This was the reason. Actually, Rajiv Gandhi and Jail Singh, what was the reason of conflict? So according to Jail Singh, whatever information he was asking, Rajiv Gandhi was not providing. ठीक है? And what information he was asking? Information on anti-Sikh riots. The commission, Nanavati Commission's reports. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पर भी ये है. तो it's a position of dignity, if not the position of power. Is this clear? And he is like a elder or a big brother. Yeah. Without Prime Minister, survive क्या मार डालोगे? हाँ, प्रेसिडेंट को क्या हो जाता है, प्रेसिडेंट रहता है, तो तुम कह रहे हो प्रेसिडेंट विल ऑल्सो डाई, ऐसा नहीं, हम बने तुम बने ऐसा नहीं, प्रेसिडेंट रूल नहीं कर सकता,
तो उसके लिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर चाहिए ना मैम।
हाँ तो केयर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रूल थोड़ी कर सकता है, कौन, केयर टेकर गवर्नमेंट होगी,
तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर के बिना गवर्नमेंट नहीं चल सकती, मतलब
नहीं।
इंडिया नहीं चल सकती।
केयर टेकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज मोर पावरफुल देन द फॉर्मल प्रेसिडेंट, ठीक है। तो देयर कैन बी अ प्रेसिडेंट्स रूल एट द स्टेट, बट देयर कैन नेवर बी अ प्रेसिडेंट रूल एट यूनियन। यूनियन में क्या लिखा हुआ है, देयर शैल बी अ काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर, मीन्स देयर शैल ऑलवेज बी अ काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर, देयर इज नो प्रेसिडेंट्स रूल, नेवर। Is emergency under Article 352 President's rule? No President's rule. Under 356 President's rule, but 356 is only at the level of state. So it is better to be a caretaker Prime Minister than to be a President. Okay, you have more power. Now the question is why we adopted parliamentary system, which is better for India, things have changed, and do you support the presidential system? How will you write this answer? You support presidential system? You don't support. What is the problem there? America does not have good government. America is not diverse. Huh? Single person rules. At present, is it not a single person rule? No. It is not Modi government. Anybody says BJP government or you say Modi Sarkar? Indira Gandhi, Indira Sarkar, or it is practically always a one-man rule. Anyway, first of all tell me why we have adopted parliamentary system. Familiarity. Okay, so first of all write reasons for adoption of parliamentary system. So first you can say familiarity. Familiarity was obviously when the parliamentary system was introduced in India. Huh? Which act? Government of India Act 1919. Okay, एक तो familiarity थी. Second, is it more democratic? Yes. Second you write, it is more democratic. On what basis you say more democratic? Because there is a collective response, right? It is it is more democratic because the power is not concentrated in the hands of one person. There is a cabinet, there is a cabinet or council of ministers. ठीक है. Next, it is more accountable. Yes, it is more accountable on day-to-day basis. day-to-day basis. Okay, so you require just a simple majority to throw the government out of power, whereas in USA impeachment is a cumbersome process. Okay. Next, more representative. Comma, thus thus more suitable for India's diversity. India's diversity. So you can make people from different background, you can give them a place in the government, and in India a person can be a minister even without getting elected for at least 6 months. Is this clear? So more suitable for India's diversity. Yeah. In presidential form there is one man, it's a one-man show. You can do, but the ministers are picked and chosen by the president. Okay, and ministers, there are the secretaries. Okay, whereas in India prime minister is first among equals. Other ministers are also important, but I am all talking about theory. I am not talking about the reality. Huh? In theory, president of USA is strong. In practice, prime minister is strong. Is prime minister more powerful than president? So basically, prime minister under the parliamentary form of government is the strongest elected head. Why? Because president does not control legislature, whereas prime minister is the leader of house as well as the leader of government. So he is holding both executive as well as legislature. And in reality, parliamentary accountability is a myth. Yes, because there is no parliamentary accountability, and the reality is executive dictatorship. Okay, so if party in power has clear or absolute majority in the parliament, in both the houses, is there any legislative accountability? No. Is this clear? So if you talk in terms of theory, parliamentary system is more democratic. But if you talk in terms of practice, it is not. You understanding this? So for general studies, there is no need to go into the analysis. You just stick to this. These are the virtues of parliamentary system. Pardon?
What would be in the case of France?
France. France we will discuss separately. Okay. So now this is you have understood? Okay. Now the question is, why sometimes some people talk about that we should switch to presidential form of government. Okay. अब इसका लिखो, why there have been demands? Because I am not saying shift, don't shift, no problem. I am just saying why those who propose, why they propose, right? Why there have been, what you have written? Demands or proposals for introducing presidential system in India. Okay. Why? Any idea? Stability. Okay. No. The main thing is there has been a age of coalition, and coalition government has resulted into political instability. It has resulted into increased defections, corruptions, and so some people proposed we should have a parliamentary form of government to avoid the instability. Because of coalition government, policy paralysis, instability, that was the main reason, because the main virtue was stability only. Is this clear? Right? Right. India had faced an era of coalition politics. Right. Coalition politics in the absence of healthy coalition culture. Healthy coalition culture. Healthy coalition culture कुछ प्रॉब्लम, मतलब हमने कोलिशन किसी के साथ किया, किसी ने हमें पैसा दिया, हम डिफेक्शन में चले गए, तो ये सब अनहेल्दी है. ठीक है. तो इंडिया में कोलिशन इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. व्हाट इज प्रॉब्लम इज लैक ऑफ कोलिशन कल्चर. तो बिकॉज ऑफ unhealthy coalition culture, comma, there were many problems. First, instability. Second, policy paralysis. Next, defections, corruption, or horse trading. Horse trading. You know horse trading? Buying and selling of MPs and MLAs. Okay? Horse trading. HOR, घोड़ा. घोड़े पे दांव लगाते हो ना, ठीक है, वही हॉर्स. यू नो हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग नाउ? ठीक है. यस. कोएलिशन. ठीक है, पहले इसको खत्म करते हैं. कोएलिशन का मतलब होता है, अब एक बात बताओ, you know coalition? Coalition means to come together. ठीक है. When more than one parties, जैसे अभी भी नेम सेक के लिए जो गवर्नमेंट है वो क्या है? कोएलिशन. ठीक है. तो जब एक पार्टी नहीं कई पार्टीज होते हैं तो उसे कोएलिशन कहते हैं. Why to form coalitions? For majority. So coalition will be a feature only of parliamentary system, or it can be even in presidential system. Only in parliamentary, because party needs majority in the house. तो अगर hung assembly है, we do not have majority on its own, then what happens? कोएलिशन. अभी समझ में आया कोएलिशन? या Which system is more transparent? Between whom? Which system is more transparent? मतलब more accountable? ट्रांसपेरेंसी और अकाउंटेबिलिटी तो एक ही चीज़ है ना, तो ऑब्वियसली पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम। एक्चुअली जीएस में बहुत बेसिक लेवल पे ही बात करो, मतलब अंदर कोई कॉन्स्पिरेसी मत सोचो, ठीक है? तो पॉलिटिकल साइंस में होता है ऐसे, थियरी में क्या है? मोर ट्रांसपेरेंसी बिकॉज एग्जीक्यूटिव इज अकाउंटेबल to the legislature on day-to-day basis. So more transparency is in parliamentary system.
In presidential system, it is compulsory that we have only two-party system.
No.
Then why not coalition
Why not coalition?
in presidential part of?
Suppose, see, what you said. See, first of all, in a presidential system, you don't need parties also. ठीक है? प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम में पार्टी सिस्टम पर बेस्ड कौन सा होता है? पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम। अब प्रेसिडेंशियल में हमें कोएलिशन क्यों नहीं चाहिए? एक ही इंसान को इलेक्ट करना है, उस इंसान को अपनी मेजॉरिटी प्रूव करनी है कांग्रेस में? नो। पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम में गवर्नमेंट हैज टू प्रूव मेजॉरिटी, तो इसलिए मेजॉरिटी नहीं चाहिए वहां तो है। प्रेसिडेंट चेंजेस व्हेन हिज टर्म इज ओवर, इफ ही इज नॉट री इलेक्टेड और इफ ही इज इम्पीच्ड और ही डाइज। अरे अगर री इलेक्ट नहीं है तो चेंज हो जाएगा, उसने इलेक्शन फिर से जीत लिया तो फिर आ जाएगा। पार्लियामेंट में सपोज मोदी गेट्स इलेक्टेड तो यूएस में क्या होगा? लेकिन मोदी जी विल हैव टू हैव अदर्स आल्सो ना गेट इलेक्टेड, ही हैज टू हैव मेजॉरिटी इन द पार्लियामेंट।
मैम
तो ज्यादा मुश्किल क्या है? मेजॉरिटी। ज़्यादा बेहतर क्या है? लीडर के लिए क्या बेहतर है? प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम है ना लीडर के लिए।
लेटरल एंट्री फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी।
अब हर चीज़ एक साथ में डिस्कस करो, वो जनरलिस्ट वर्सेस स्पेशलिस्ट है, तो ठीक है ना लेटरल एंट्री।
तो फिर जो यूएस में सेक्रेटरीज चूज किए जाते हैं तो इंडिया ट्रांसफॉर्म हो रहा है मैम।
वो
इंडिया में यूएस में सेक्रेटरीज बाय
हाँ, तो
प्रेसिडेंट।
थोड़ा थोड़ा यूएस सिस्टम की ओर जा रहे हैं ना। जैसे इंडिया में दो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज रही हैं, एक दूसरे के अपोजिट रही हैं, तो बीजेपी वाले लोग हमेशा प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम को फेवर करते हैं, कांग्रेस वाले पार्लियामेंट्री को करते हैं। शशि थरूर को बचना था इसलिए वो प्रेसिडेंशियल को करने लग गए, ठीक है। प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम किसके लिए अच्छा है? बीजेपी के लिए। क्यों? क्योंकि हिंदूज आर इन मेजॉरिटी, ठीक है। तो अब हिंदूज इन मेजॉरिटी, केवल हिंदू वोट से यू कैन बी अ प्रेसिडेंट। इंडिया में इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी रेयर दैट ए मुस्लिम विल बी अ प्रेसिडेंट। प्रेसिडेंट तो हिंदू ही बनेगा ना। तो हिंदू पार्टी, हिंदू मुस्लिम दो कैंडिडेट अगर खड़े करोगे तो हु विल बी प्रेसिडेंट? हिंदू, ठीक है। तो बिकॉज मेजॉरिटी इज हिंदू एंड बीजेपी इज अ पार्टी बेस्ड ऑन हिंदुत्व, it is always better for them if it is presidential system. That is why they have projected as if it is a Modi government. तो धीरे धीरे माइंड को